Why are men over 60 who do these 4 things so irresistible to women, without exception? Let's be honest. Have you ever watched a man enter a room? Not young, not elegant, not wearing an expensive dress? And did you notice that people reacted differently to him? The women followed the slightly longer eye contact. The men sat up straighter. The conversation seemed to shift naturally to him. And you were probably wondering what exactly about him triggered this reaction. Because it wasn't obvious. It wasn't significant. It wasn't achieved. Something about this man immediately appealed to me. Today we'll pinpoint exactly what that something is. 4 specific things, based on insights from psychology, neuroscience, and real-life experiences that aren't immediately obvious. By the end of this video, you'll realize that you already possess these things or know exactly what you need to build. Point 1. A seemingly slow-moving, 60-year-old physicist speaks before she opens her mouth. Let's be honest. And this is a political topic no one likes to discuss directly. A well-groomed body at the age of 60 is one of the most effective nonverbal communicators there is. Not out of vanity, not out of selfishness, but because of the message it sends to the entire brain that comes into contact with it, including yours. If a man maintains a healthy and active physique well into his 60s, his body's message isn't, "I go to the gym." The message is discipline, patience, respect. The ability to prioritize long-term results over short-term comfort is immediately recognized and perceived as attractive by the female brain, which has been programmed for millennia to judge a man's attractiveness based on his physical attributes, not solely because of aesthetics, but because of what those attributes symbolize. And this is precisely where most men make a big mistake. They chase after size. They want to appear excited, massive, and aggressive. And then they wonder why they receive admiration from the men at the gym and cool, concern from everyone else. The research is clear. A slim, well-proportioned physique at age 60 is consistently superior to a muscular physique in terms of perceived health, attractiveness, and social credibility. We're talking about a body fat percentage of 12 to 15%, visible muscle definition without excess weight, a body that signals, "I take care of myself," instead of, "I'm overcompensating." Maintaining. This physique isn't complicated, but it does require consistency. 2 to 4 strength training sessions per week, sufficient protein intake to maintain muscle mass while metabolism slows down, and a willingness to consider sleep and recovery essential. This body isn't just attractive. This is the foundation upon which everything else in this video is built. If the foundation is sound, the effects of the 3 remaining points are amplified. The body is the first sign, but a sluggish physique without the next quality is nothing more than a well-packaged mystery. Point 2 is what makes women want to get to know you, not just notice you. Point 2. Authenticity and consistency create absolute trust in women. Attraction fades, trust grows, and men who understand this difference radiate a quiet confidence that is hard to shake. Many men do this at this stage of life, which directly harms them. They are penetrating. Their appearance varies depending on who is in the room. They are charming to strangers, smug to their partner, impressive in the office, and invisible at home. Women, and this is not a generalization, but an established finding in social psychology, are extraordinarily sensitive to contradictions. They don't always address them directly. They rarely confront them directly, but they sense them. And what they feel when a man is inconsistent is a quiet, persistent feeling that they don't really know who he is. Authenticity is not synonymous with vulnerability for its own sake. It's not about revealing your feelings or being overly sensitive. It's simpler and more effective. It's about being the same man in every room, having opinions and expressing them without aggression, saying what you mean and meaning what you say, and consistently implementing even small things because you know that self-confidence is built on small things. A man who is both physically impressive and consistently authentic uniquely combines something rare, because most men either look good and act inconsistently, or they act confident and let themselves go. The man who can do both, who maintains his charisma and appears the same every day, is described by women as magnetic. This term magnetic is used deliberately because they can't fully explain the difference, but now you know exactly what triggers it. Authenticity builds trust. But there's one signal that works faster than anything else, a signal that happens in fractions of a second and yet carries the emotional weight of everything you've ever said or done. Number 3. A genuine, warm smile creates attraction on a neurological level. Many men have somehow decided that a serious expression is synonymous with strength. Therefore, they go through life with a neutral expression that fluctuates somewhere between focused and irritated. They believe it creates a connection. In reality, however, it appears closed off and unapproachable to most people. And in some cases, it feels subtly threatening. Much like empty buildings feel subtly threatening. Nothing inherently bad, just a lack of warmth that instinctively makes people keep their distance. The scientific explanations are truly fascinating. A genuine smile, and I mean truly genuine, not that forced customer service smile that no one believes. Anyway, activates the Duchenne muscle response. The orbicularis oculi muscle contracts involuntarily when the smile is real and freezes completely when it's fake. Women are particularly sensitive to this difference. Research from the University of Aberdeen has shown that men who smile genuinely are consistently perceived as significantly more attractive than the same men with neutral or forced expressions. A smile is not mere decoration. It conveys biological information about your emotional state. What does a sincere, heartfelt smile at age 60 communicate? It signals that you are at peace with your life, do not feel threatened by your surroundings, and find life interesting enough to be content with. This is not weakness. This is the deep emotional devotion of a man who has created something significant and is aware of it. And this devotion, coupled with a slow and well-trained physique and the consistency of a man who presents himself the same way every day, makes for an exceptionally powerful combination. The practical advice is simple. Smile whenever you feel like it, and don't feign surprise when it's genuine. Let the warmth that's already inside you shine through in your face. A man who smiles genuinely at 60 doesn't seem to be trying to be liked. He appears to already know his own worth, and that's precisely what makes him so incredibly attractive to the observer. 3 signs work together. The body is well-groomed, the character is steadfast, and the warmth is genuine. The 4th point is where everything comes together, and this is precisely the point where men have a little bit of doubt their whole lives. Point 4. The duration of eye contact distinguishes men from insecure men. Nobody talks about this directly, so let's talk about it openly. Eye contact is one of the oldest and most effective forms of human communication. It surpasses language. It conveys information that words cannot express. Trust, interest, presence, intention, and how you handle this in conversation reveals something specific about your inner state to everyone present. Men usually do one of 2 things. Either they avoid eye contact, only glance around briefly, look at the floor, or scan the room, which is interpreted as insecurity, no matter how attractive they may be. Either they exaggerate the listless gaze, which conveys less eye contact and more intimidation. Neither works. Both signal the same thing: mistrust without genuine connection. Attractive men, who are consistently described by women as charismatic, credible, and engaging, maintain eye contact in a way that exudes absolute presence. They look at their counterpart long enough for the other person to feel truly seen, not so long as to appear confrontational, but also not so long as to make it obvious that they are thinking of nothing else, not looking down, and not listening attentively. They really are there. A study published in the journal Psychology found that sustained and pleasant eye contact directly increases feelings of attraction, trust, and perceived intelligence in the observer, not because the man claimed otherwise, but because of his gaze and the aesthetic way he followed it. In a man who is physically well-groomed, behaves consistently, and is naturally warm, eye contact is the crucial signal that strengthens the connection. That's the difference between a man who impresses and a man you don't forget. Practice this. In your next conversation, maintain eye contact throughout your entire sentence. Let the other person look back first, not intrusively, but simply out of interest. You'll feel the change in the conversation within seconds, and so will the other person. 4 signs, all in your hands, all buildable right now. Before the bonus, one more request. Write the word magnetic in the comments. That's all. It shows us you're still here, and it brings this video to more men who need it. An added bonus. The 4 habits that make men over 60 irresistible. Effortlessly. You've been watching the whole time. That says a lot about you, and we really appreciate that. The Style Connection community thrives on men who are committed. Participate, and get the work done. Thank you for being a part of it. This bonus is yours. Everything covered in this video comes together when practiced as a daily system, rather than viewed as 4 separate ideas. Here's how the system works. Every morning, before the day's distractions take over, take 5 minutes to consciously care for your body. Not a full workout, but a quick check-in. How is your body feeling today? What's your nutrition plan like? Are you getting enough sleep to maintain the muscle you've built? Addressing these questions daily creates a stable physical foundation. Instead of just reacting to changes, practice being the same person in every room all day long. When you realize you're performing in front of an audience, stop. End the performance. Say what you really think. Stick to the small things you promised. Consistency is a daily choice, not a character trait you either have or you don't. In every social interaction, your composure should come first, before the hug, before the topic of conversation. Let your true self shine through, before your facade feels the need to control the situation. A genuine smile costs nothing and reveals everything about your inner self. And be present in every conversation. Put your phone away. Maintain eye contact. Make the other person feel you have your undivided attention. In a world where everyone is only half-heartedly present, a person who is fully present immediately stands out. These are the 4 habits: physical intention, consistent behavior, genuine calm, and absolute presence. Daily practice shapes a man who cannot be described, but also cannot be forgotten. This is not charisma. This is character that becomes visible and is tangible for every man who sees this.